gentlemen, on behalf of our director and the rest of the cast, I'd like to welcome you aboard Ledger Airlines Flight NC-19 with non-stop service to Hollywood. Our flight time will be approximately 26 minutes, and we look forward to ensuring that your journey with us today is as pleasant and carefree as possible as we lay down the law. Now, lean in and listen up as we deliver Arch Obeler's Special to Hollywood. This play is timeless and terrifyingly timely, with its story of Hollywood elites completely out of touch with the suffering of ordinary people. Arch Obeler wrote it in 1941 after he and his wife attended a dinner party at the home of a Hollywood bigwig, along with other bigwigs. The after-dinner conversation was about World War II, which was devastating the world. But the bigwigs only cared about how it was affecting their own bottom lines. Outraged at their complete indifference to the suffering of millions of people, Obeler went home and wrote Special to Hollywood. Here is the Ledger Actors Workshop version of Special to Hollywood.
Now look here, pilot. Can't you make this thing go faster?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Take those infernal headphones or whatever they are off your head and listen to me. I said, can't you make this thing go faster?
150 miles an hour isn't exactly walking, mister.
Now don't get impertinent. I chartered this special plane for speed, you understand? Speed, not to just go dawdling along through the air.
I'll tell him about it when he comes in.
Now look here. Do you realize who you're talking to?
Look, mister, I'll be the first to admit you're a big shot, but when you're bucking a 50-mile wind and still making 150 miles an hour, believe me, that's pretty good. Now, why don't you go back in the cabin and sit down and enjoy yourself like a good fellow?
Now look here. You can't tell me what to
Mark,
do.
Mark, come here, Mark. Mark, I'm talking to you.
Coming, darling?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Mark, where have you been? Do I have to split a lung every time I want to talk to you?
All right, darling, all right, I'm here.
Did you tell him to hurry up?
NC-19 calling Glendale.
Yes, everything taken care of.
That's what you
calling
say.
Glendale.
I'm sick of this. I want to get home.
Hello, Joe.
we'll be there in
How
2
is
hours.
it?
That's what you say. You said we had plenty
Yeah,
of scotch,
well, the farmers
too.
Well,
like it.
darling, I thought...
Oh, you make me tired.
Everything's normal here.
Oh, I don't know
Listen.
what I went on this trip for anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
for
that's
publicity.
only two of them.
Publicity.
When the
I can sit
third
in my
guy starts
backyard
in,
and get
boy.
publicity.
Oh, Lona, darling.
Okay,
Don't
tell
Lona,
them to get
darling
the
me.
studio brass band ready.
Where can I get a
We'll be
drink?
setting
What are
down
you
in a
good
couple
for
of
anyway?
hours.
Now, look here. If not for me,
Okay.
where would you be?
You tell me.
NC-19
Everybody in
signing off.
Hollywood knows.
Everybody? Who's everybody? You heard what I said. How many times do I have to say it? You heard me the first time. If not for me being in it, that picture would stink so loud. The only way anyone could go see it would be with one of those gas things on their faces.
Oh, but darling, be reasonable. Any picture that nets $300,000 the first week...
Because I'm in it, that's why. Because I am in it. Isn't that right, Bob?
Huh? What'd you say?
Oh, for Pete's sake, take your nose out of that racing form and listen to me, will you?
Listen to yourself, beautiful. I'm busy.
Mark, you tell me, how long do I have to put up with this lily imitation of a louse?
Now, Lona, darling, I
It's
think
all
that-
right, Mark. It's all right. I can take it for $1,000 a week.
Mark, are you going to let him talk to me like that?
Well, he hasn't said anything.
She's reading my mind.
Why, you two-bit little four-flusher, let me tell you...
What do you mean, four-flusher? Why, if not for me shoving your name in every newspaper in the country, you'd be back in the laundry.
Mark, did you hear that?
Now, Bob, watch yourself.
You
After
keep
all...
out of this.
Fire him!
Yeah, sure, fire me. Go on. So I'll go to work for Warner's tomorrow.
Oh, fire him!
Yeah, fire me.
Yeah, I said it.
Then I'll have some decent pictures to go to town on instead of this baby's turkey.
Turkeys?
Now, Bob, don't go too far.
Did
After
you
all...
hear him? My pictures, turkeys! $300,000 the first week and you are...
Why? Ask me why. Exploitation, that's it. And why, without my publicity, you would be back in the laundry. You'd not only be back, you'd be in it.
Oh, you little squirt, you! I'll scratch your eyes out.
You lay a hand on me, I'll slap you down.
Mark, do something.
You're fired. You hear me, Bob? Fired.
Why, you big bag of wind? Who do you think you're firing?
Mark, throw him out.
Why, I'll go to JB and I'll have him cut your heart out.
Fired, I tell you.
Out on your ear.
You're not a producer. You're a fugitive from the laundry she used to work in.
Blacklist him, Mark. Have him blacklisted.
Metro, Zanuck, Wanger. Why, I can walk into a dozen jobs tomorrow morning.
I'll run you out of Hollywood.
You'll starve to death and I'll kick you in the face. You won't get another job in Hollywood if I have anything to...
That crazy pilot.
What's he doing?
Well, tell him to stop.
Crazy fool climbing like that?
Right, well, don't stand there. Go on and give him the devil.
All right. I'm going. All right. Hey, you, pilot. You crazy?
It's all right, mister. Had to climb, storm ahead.
Oh, who cares about the storm? You get us home, understand?
Okay, you're paying for it. Here, a message for you. Came over the radio.
All right. Hand it over.
What is it, Mark? For me?
No, me. Yeah, me.
What's up, huh?
Mark, what's the matter with you? Mouth open like a fish? Read it.
It says that John Webster killed himself.
Oh.
You're kidding.
See for yourself.
John Webster, young novelist, committed suicide. 1 p.m.
I never thought he'd do it.
I didn't either. Killing himself just because we changed
Yeah.
some of his...
You laughing?
Sure, why not?
No, Lona, darling, after all...
After all, what? Two wise guys, and neither one of you's got as many brains as the left side of my Pekingese.
Okay, let's have it.
You, the great Mr. Crane, the publicity wonder boy.
Cut out the needles, will you, and let's have it.
Yes, Lona, what are you getting at?
So he's dead. So instead of looking down your noses, you two ought to be standing on your heads.
What?
Ah, she's nuts.
Am I? The picture getting national release this week, and the sap who writes the words blows his brains out. And I'm supposed to cry, huh?
Oh, I get it.
Call out the Marines.
Lona, you mean that now he can't bother us with an injunction?
Who's thinking about injunctions? He couldn't stop the picture anyway. You said yourself he signed away all the rights.
Well, then what are you...
Oh, you tell him, Bob.
Oh, it's terrific. Mark, don't you get it?
Huh?
So we had the premiere in Chicago. So all right, it stunk.
Don't you start in that again.
Okay. It wasn't your fault. The director was no good. The film was no good. The cutters got the story loused up. And the critics all had bellyaches.
But I still don't...
Yeah, what's the difference what the reason was? The picture was a flopperoo. Laid eggs all the way up and down State Street.
Well, get to the point.
I passed it already. Don't you get it? The author of the novel we made the film out of blows his top. Why? Ask me why.
I don't have to ask you. The kid told me yesterday, right in the hotel. Ruined his life work, he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. But it won't be what I'll say.
Huh? What? Who?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Mark, shut your mouth and listen to the guy. For the first time in a year, he's got a good idea. My idea.
That's what you think. Now listen, Mark. With this angle, we can turn this picture into a gold mine.
Well, say it. Say it.
I'll say it. The reason that crazy kid killed himself was because the picture was so terrific, he was done. Finished.
Yeah. His life work comes to life on the silver screen. So the boy genius bows out. Don't you get it?
But that isn't true.
Oh, for the love of...
I mean, who'll believe you? It's crazy.
Will you listen to the guy, Lona? Crazy.
Sure, crazy. A story like that, why, no newspaper would believe it.
Oh, won't they? How about if you have a letter that the kid wrote you just before he, did it?
Hey, that's all right.
But he didn't write me any such letter.
Oh, Lona, you tell him.
Mark, what are you trying to do? Give an imitation of Dopey? Did the sappy kid have to write a letter? Aren't there plenty of guys you got at the studio who'll write you a letter like that for $10?
Yeah, and give you 5 change.
Aren't there?
Oh, is right. Why the kid's bumping himself up? It's a natural.
And who thought of it first? You tell me. Oh!
Storm!
What kind of screwy pilot we got here?
Mark, don't stand there. Do something.
All right.
Bob, so dark. The lights?
Can't find the switch.
Oh, Mark! Tell him to get us out of this.
Oh, gee. Is it dark out there?
Oh, you two fatheads. I told you I didn't want to go to Chicago. Mark, tell him to get us out of the storm. Mark, you hear me? Mark?
I'll go see.
No, don't leave me.
Okay. Listen, we're climbing.
Climbing? So what does that mean?
He's taking us above the storm.
Well, why doesn't he hurry? Oh, I hate thunder. Mark!
It's all right, darling. It's all right.
What's all right? What?
He's getting us up over the top of the storm.
Yeah, like I told
Well,
you.
what the buzzard get us into this for in the first place? Mark, if you don't get him fired, I'll...
There we are, in the light again.
Will you look at those clouds down there?
Oh, so who cares? Oh, what I'd give for a scotch.
We'll be home soon.
You can't even see the ground, like a carpet from up
Oh,
here.
will you shut up? Who cares about clouds?
Listen, Toots and Fruits, who's talking to you?
Mark, did you hear what he said to me?
Now. Don't start again, the two of you. I've had all I can stand these 3 days.
You've had? Will you listen to the guy? Who was pulled and pushed around by everyone from the Cicero Fan Club #1 to those floppy-eared exhibitors to those lousy reporters to...
Hey, wait a minute.
What's
Huh?
the matter?
I got an idea. Listen, that screwy author. When we land, I'll have a wire sent. We'll have the body sent to the coast and bury him at the studio's expense.
Huh?
Yeah, sort of a state funeral for the author of Ilona Douglas's greatest vehicle.
Say, that's all right.
I don't know. Maybe they won't go
Who
for something.
won't? The kid didn't have anybody, so we'll do the honors, see? Special car all across the country. Make every news service in the world.
I don't know. Morbid. Morbid.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's the trouble. You don't know. The first good idea this Lily's had since...
Now wait a minute.
and you start getting artistic or something. Well, let me tell you that. Hey, what's the matter with you? Mark, I'm talking to you.
Listen.
What the?
Bob, you...
What's the matter with you two?
Engines.
The engine. It stopped.
So what? We're landing. What's the matter with you two saps? He shut off the engine because we're landing.
No,
Pilot,
we're not.
Pilot, what's the matter? Pilot, what's happened?
I don't know. I don't.
What is it? What's happening?
What is this? Mark, what did he chase off for? What's the matter? We are landing, aren't we? Then what's there to get so excited about?
The engine stopped.
Will you stop saying that? So what?
We're not due in for an hour yet.
Something's wrong.
Lona.
Pilot?
Lona, wait.
Pilot.
Lona.
What's the matter? Pilot!
Lady, will you please take it easy?
Pilot, why are we landing here? Why are we landing
What's
here?
the big idea? What's going
Look, I
on?
can't answer
Well,
you.
you have to do something. We have
What's
to
the
land.
matter with the engine? What's
Look,
happening?
I can't answer both of you at once. Will you please take it
Why?
easy?
Will you tell me why are we landing here?
Wait a minute. Take it easy.
No. Let me talk to
Will
him.
you please
What's
take it
going
easy?
on? Where are we?
Well, you don't know.
Listen, you. What's
Shut
the matter?
up.
Why doesn't he answer? I'm
Stop.
paying for
Stop
this.
yelling
Answer
at
me.
me.
What are you
All
up
of
to?
you, shut
Answer
up.
me, I tell you.
Shut up, I say. We're not landing. See, we're not landing.
But the engine.
It stopped. We must be landing.
Of course we must be landing. What's the matter with you?
You can't tell me anything like that.
I said shut up.
You can't talk to her that way.
Oh, suck him.
Who do you think you're talking to?
You fools. Will you shut up? Look, I tell you. The indicator.
What?
The airspeed indicator.
Huh?
We're not falling.
Mark, what's he saying?
Listen, I'm telling you, we're not falling. The engine's dead and we're not falling, you fools. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't you understand? We're hanging. Just hanging in the air.
Hanging. Air.
You dirty-faced buzzard, what are you trying to pull? What are you trying to
Brock
pull?
is dead. Just hanging in the air.
Hanging. Air.
Listen, the three of you. I've been around. They've pulled all kinds of fancy gags on me. Well, if this is a trick, I don't like it. You hear me? I don't like it. Now get me down out of here. Bob, he passed out.
Come on, back in the cabin. Better sit down. Mr. Markham, you too.
Bob,
He'll be all right. Come on.
Hanging. In air.
This is a gag, isn't it? Tell me, isn't it? We're moving. We've got to be moving. Talk, blast you, talk.
Lady, my arm. Cut it out, will ya?
Then tell me what's happening. What? Bob passed out. Mark looking like his mouth. You've got to talk. You've got to tell me. We are moving, aren't we?
No.
You liar. You dirty liar. We are.
Stop it. Look down there.
You dirty liar. You're trying to scare me.
Look, see on the clouds down there? Our shadow standing still. We're not moving. Get it through your head.
Oh.
We're hanging in space, I tell you.
I'm all right. Just leave me alone.
You hit your head when you...
I know. Leave me alone, I tell you. What are you all sitting around looking at me for? I passed out, all right? You're all as scared as I am. You know it. I know it. You are. You, Mark, you're scared. Your face is green. Answer me. You're all scared, aren't you?
Hanging in air.
There, you see? He's off his nut. You, Lana, you're scared too, aren't you?
Why don't you shut up?
Pilot, you're scared green. You're scared too, aren't you? Not me alone. You, answer me, you.
Maybe I better shut you
I'm
up.
scared. I am scared. I'm scared.
All right, Bob. All right.
Lana,
All right now. All right.
Lana, I
Don't
don't want to die.
Bury your head. Yeah, that's right. Pilot. Sam,
Yeah?
what time is it?
5.
The radio?
What's the use? Tried it 100 times. Dead ass.
We're going to be... Oh, don't listen to what we're talking about, Bob. Just try not to think. Sam,
Yeah?
how long have we been?
An hour.
Only that?
Seems like a million, but watch says only an hour.
Mark, listen. Mark, I'm talking to you.
Hanging air.
I wish I was like he is.
Yeah.
So scared he can't see or hear or think.
Huh?
Look, he's gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Bob wore himself out crying. Funny, huh?
Nothing's funny.
I guess not. But I got funny thoughts in my head.
What?
A minute ago I was thinking about when I was a kid. You want to hear about when I was a kid?
Why not?
Bob, here, and all the rest of the publicity guys have written so much junk about me being the only daughter of, poor but respectable small-town people that I almost got to thinking it was true. Yeah. Would you believe it? I paid some wise guy over on Sunset Boulevard $1,000 for a coat of arms of the families to hang up in the hall. One of those fancy shields with lions crawling all over it and things. It should have had a couple of beer bottles on it instead of lions, You want to know my real name? Oh, what's the difference? Beer bottles. Yeah. Beer bottles and the smell of the laundry coming up the air shaft and a lot of dirt. That's what I remember from when I was a kid. Sam?
Yeah?
I just wanted to hear you talk. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I was thinking of something funny about when I was a kid. When it was hot at night, I used to lie on my back on the roof, look at the clouds, and make off I was just sort of hanging in the air. Honest, Sam. I'd want that. Funny now,
Gravity.
What?
Did I say something?
You said gravity. Why?
I was thinking.
What?
I was thinking gravity is pulling us down.
Well,
I was thinking of what's pulling us up.
there aren't any answers.
No?
No answers. When I was a kid, I found answers. Yeah. How to get along, how to get out of that smell and dirt. Real answers. They took me a long way. 5,000 a week, 5-year contract, no options. I did all right with my answers, but here's one answer I haven't got. Because there isn't any answer.
Maybe there is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You listen to me. Supposing I listen to you.
Oh, I don't know how to talk.
You just go ahead.
For a whole hour, I've been trying to figure things out.
So?
There isn't any real answer, that adds up like a column of figures on a slide rule when you're trying to figure out the stress on a wing. Nothing like that. But a kind of screwy ideas come to me. Why talk about it?
Go on.
I just a bozo. Ever since I've been able to stand on my own feet, everything's got to be able to add up, or it just doesn't mean anything to me. But when I was a kid,
Well,
when I was a kid, I really had like you said, the poor but respectable parents. You know the kind. They believed in somebody up there and somebody down below and good and evil and all the rest of it. Funny, you thinking about when you were a kid and me thinking about the same thing.
you said you had the answers.
Yeah. It's like this. I heard the three of you talking all the way from the coast to Chicago, now back again, talking about nothing but yourselves, each one of you, nothing meaning anything but yourselves. If we weren't like this up here, I know I wouldn't be able to say this, but why not say it? You making more money in a week than the average guy with a family sweats out his insides for in a year. But instead of the money making you understand anything, it's made you understand less than a blind kid walking in the dark. Everything's for you. The world's just a big movie screen. Everybody's in it, just there to sit up and look at you. Everything's for you. Even when they're dead, they're for you. Yeah, I heard somebody wrote a book and you bought it and made a picture out of it. And maybe it was an honest book, but you didn't buy it to be honest. You bought it to make dough. So the kid blew his brains out. And even dead, he couldn't get away from you. Yeah, you were going to use his dead body to make more money. Yeah, dead or alive, nothing means anything to you. There's no world but your screwy world. Everybody all over the world can crawl in the ground, hiding from bombs, can be starved and watch their kids starve and die on barbed wire, fighting for something they don't know much about, and drown in the sea, and it don't mean anything to you. None of it. As long as each of you can hold on to what you got. Yeah, the three of you. Acting as if you weren't made of the same flesh and bone as the rest of us. As if making a lot of money and seeing your name in the paper a lot and getting a lot of applause took you right off the earth. Well, maybe something or somebody decided you weren't fit for the earth. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, you crying?
No.
You asked me. I told you.
I was in a picture once. The girl got in a jam. She didn't know how to pray, but she just started to pray. That was in a picture. This is real, isn't it?
Yeah.
If anybody told me a couple of hours ago that all this, Mark sitting there out of his head, Bob, me sitting here listening to the kind of thing you said.
You asked me. I told you.
Yeah, you told me. It was a lousy trick, wasn't it?
What?
About that kid who died. I'm sorry about that. Just thinking about it, I'm sorry.
The engine!
We've started again.
But we're in a dive!
Oh,
Gotta
Bob,
get it!
Bob, we're moving again. Mark, Bob.
Everything's all right. Everything is all right.
Mark, Bob, wake up. Snap out of it. Do you hear? Everything's all right.
All right. So it's settled. All right.
Sure, it's settled. I know my publicity. A thing like this isn't good, it's bad.
I'm not arguing with you. All right.
Spread a screwy thing like this, and every reporter in the country will hold his nose. It's too screwy, that's all.
For heaven's sake, will you stop talking about it?
Well-
For the last hour, my head started to go around. It's forgotten. Finished. So whatever it was, we'll forget it.
Wait, the pilot. Did you talk to him?
Sure. He won't talk. He wants to eat, don't he? So he won't talk.
You've got everything fixed, huh?
Well, the prima donna's talking again.
Now, Lona, darling, you understand. Nobody's going to know about this. Like Bob says, crazy publicity is bad publicity. And well, this was all crazy, wasn't it?
I'll say. Hey, look, We're over the airport.
Good, good. Drink. Do I need a drink?
A bathtub full. I'm gonna swim in it.
A terrible experience. Terrible, but all's well that ends well, eh, Lona? A terrible experience, but now finished. Everything's just the same, eh, Lona? Everything's just the same.
I wonder.
NC-19 coming in. NC-19 coming in. Hello, Joe. Yeah, I had a little trouble a while back. Yeah, engine trouble. Yeah, everything's back to normal now. Yeah, everybody's okay. Everything just the same. I wonder.
We hope you've enjoyed our Ledger Actors Workshop production of Special to Hollywood by Arch Obeler. In tonight's show, the part of Lona was voiced by Allison Davies. Sam was voiced by Grant Baxter. Bob was voiced by Stu Raplogel. And Mark was voiced by Joe O'Connor. The production was sound designed and directed by Eric Joseph. If you'd like to hear more of our work, you have interest in joining the Audible Local Ledger's reading volunteers, or would like to donate to our nonprofit reading service for people who are blind or print disabled, you can visit our website at audiblelocalledger.org or call us at 508-539-2030. 508-539-2030. Join us for the next Ledger Actors Workshop production, premiering on the last Friday